Welcome. This is Norma Gentili, and you're listening to A New Path and New Goals. This meditation includes 2 new songs drawn through me from my Hathor guide Atamira, as well as insights and healing energies from Archangel Michael and Mary. As you discern your soul's new goals for you, this meditation helps you embrace change and feel out where your new path lies. We have all had the experience. Our life stops. And no matter how hard we try, we can't get it to restart in the same way. I believe this is because new opportunities are emerging, and our soul wants to take advantage of these new possibilities. That means ingrained habits and beliefs, as well as those from just a few months or even a few weeks ago, are now part of a past that we are no longer actively grounding into and accessing. What new goals does your soul want to choose now? And how do you find that new path towards these new goals? Join me for a journey now. I want to start as I usually do, by creating sacred space. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and lie down, make yourself comfortable, and just feel that sense of safety that is inherent whenever we open and expand into spiritual endeavors. As each person is settling into their space, I welcome you to just feel the room, the space about you. The nature spirits within the room vibrate in such a way that they reflect all that we do in our life, whether it's watching TV or having dinner or sleeping or meditating. It's lovely to have a room that's dedicated to meditation, but it's not always possible. And that's why frequently folks put up altars in certain spaces in their home as a way of being able to indicate to the nature spirits of the room, now it's a sacred time. Now I'm doing something that I want your support in a sacred manner. So if you would, go ahead and very gently find the space around you, the walls, the ceilings, the floor. Imagine even the nature spirits that might reside in the land beneath your space. Because many people live in apartment buildings or share a space with others, it's particularly nice to go ahead and think about how do those nature spirits support you personally. So, nature spirits that are tuned to you, that reflect your energies, and that vibrate at what they consider to be their level of unconditional love, just welcoming them to step forward. Those in the room, and those that reflect you. There's a subset that reflects their level of unconditional love. Rather than telling them what unconditional love is, we're going to ask them what unconditional love is. Nature spirits of that room that reflect your body, your energies, and that vibrate at their level of unconditional love, welcoming them to step forward. And the same with the land beneath, the nature spirits that reflect you, and that vibrate at what they themselves consider to be their level of unconditional love. Land beneath that reflects you, and that vibrate at their level of unconditional love, just welcoming them to step forward. And the pure energy of nature. The pure energy of nature is the grandmother energy, according to the nature spirits. The pure energy of nature is the quality of energy that allows us to heal, and it's life force. Hildegard referred to it as viriditas, the greening force, the life force, what happens when plants and trees come alive. It's that ineffable quality of life that we see, particularly in younger people and in those adults and elders who have really harnessed spiritual energies. It's what animates all of us. So that pure energy of nature usually feels thick and rich, sometimes warm. And we welcome it in today too. It's especially useful for physical healing, but its presence assists us to understand more fully our connection into the external physical world and how we are bound spiritually into the physical world, and our bodies are supported by the physical world. Especially when we don't feel supported by physical world events, the pure energy of nature can help us reconsider how to find that connection that is really suitable for our body and for our souls now. So just welcoming that pure energy of nature to combine with the nature spirits of the room and the land beneath that reflect your body and that vibrate at their level of unconditional love. And we're going to form a sphere all around the room or the space that you're in. And that sphere reflects the unconditional love of nature. And as it reflects the unconditional love of nature, the question is, how does your body want to be supported now by this unconditional love of nature? What's your relationship now to the unconditional love of nature? Good. Now, we're going to just welcome in an energy that helps other energies go home. Archangel Michael. Michael, who you might know with other names, is an archetype of our reality. Michael separates and allows that which our soul needs to remain, but provides a conduit for that which our soul no longer needs to go to wherever it does need to go. And this includes old guides, old angels, energy patterns that hold beliefs and emotions. So we're going to welcome that aspect of Archangel Michael that you connect to right now. Because Michael is much bigger than what any one person can connect to. That aspect of Michael that you naturally are supported by right now, welcoming Michael to step forward and letting Michael's energies drop down, just like an upside down pyramid, just letting Michael's energies go down. And as Michael's energies go down, they go down into what I refer to as second dimension and first dimension. It feels almost like a tugging on the floor as you come down. And your awareness just drops down into second and first dimension, just down. And when Michael truly anchors into first dimension, then it's a sudden motion, almost like a rush of energy that goes up. And that upward rush of energy allows Archangel Michael to move even more clearly and strongly into what we think of as the heavenly dimensions. So by going down, we go up, and Michael's energies go beyond right, beyond wrong. They go to that point beyond our polarity. This opens an energy shaft, like an elevator tube, through which all other energies can go home. So I don't have to do anything, you don't have to do anything. We just need to identify what is no longer in tune with us, and we need to be willing at a personality level to let go of it. When we do that, Archangel Michael then naturally will escort these energies homeward. It's really a service, this type of healing. This type of service allows energies that have been with us, that have helped us for years and years to find their own path homeward. It helps these energies to change and grow, to evolve. Just as we call in guides and angels, we ideally spend a similar amount of time feeling the sense of gratitude and feeling a sense of support that they've given us. And we allow them to then know that their task is complete. Or we can also let them know that we don't really have a way of finishing whatever task we thought we were going to do in third dimension. And so we welcome them to go ahead and simply depart for now. Maybe they'll come back, maybe they'll upgrade in a certain way. Our job is to simply recognize when we have too many guides and angels stuck to us, and our current time guides and angels are in the far back screaming, whoa, hey, 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 And that often is indicated by a sense of heaviness, a sense of just not moving forward in a certain way, but not moving backwards, just sort of stuckness. Or sometimes a sense of just not being able to hear, intuition. When we get too many guides and angels, the old ones are crowded so close to us that the new ones, their voices, their insights just can't get through very easily. So the invocation that we've just done, we're going to repeat in the reverse at the end to release everyone and release any additional energies that are ready to be let go of and move on. One of the things that I most enjoy is to allow spiritual energies to move through sound. I do this consciously as I'm speaking to you, but I also do this through singing. The microphones are not ideal on phones, on iPads, computers, whatever we might have. Neither are the speaker systems. It's very limited. They're built to carry, typically, the spoken voice and some amount of bass. So the upper overtones, especially that a female voice provides, oftentimes simply will not be transmitted, or the speakers won't be able to make them loud enough so you can actually hear them. Also, as we age, we lose an ability to physically hear the upper overtones. We can hear the middles, but we can't hear the higher partials typically. Be aware that even if the physical ear doesn't hear it, your body still senses it. The sound is like the magician's left hand, distracting you from what is really happening with the other hand. So enjoy the sound. I'm just going to play a bowl and just sing a little bit. And just know that actually it's a conduit. So I'm just laying energies into it. And as I lay the energies into the sound, the energies travel with the sound. As many of you know, I tend to watch current events, and I'm good at looking at the big picture. So what I've really been noticing is a sense of disconnect, and I'm sure you've seen it too. We have two realities, and they're not quite meeting. And they can't meet because it's two different realities, two different layers of consciousness. The whole move, my guides are saying, towards unity is impossible. The move rather is towards feeling what's true for you in your body, letting that be drawn to you in your life, and being okay, actually having a sense of not being triggered, being neither here nor there, with other people who have other realities, have other things that they're drawing to themselves. A case in point, and those of you that know me, that my guides tend to work in a spiral. So we're going to touch on a few different topics and then pull it together. A case in point. When we do a cleanse of some sort in the physical body, it becomes really hard at a certain point. Oftentimes we feel sick, we get depressed, we're simply not feeling good. And that's when most of us just think, is it worth it? Are we doing it right? Maybe we're doing it wrong. Maybe this is the wrong thing to be doing. Maybe we shouldn't do it at all. And a lot of times we just stop it, we slow it down, we abandon it because it just feels wrong somehow. And something that my guides have been really pointing out to me of late is that when we are letting go of something, or when something is no longer in tune with us, be it something in our body that we're cleansing out through the liver or the intestines, or something in our life, or someone, or a toxic relationship, or old habits that don't work, when we are really at that point where the energy is leaving from us, we panic. That sort of change and the pull of those energy cords, we feel them at a psychic level, and we panic, and we can pull them back in. Another way of explaining this is to talk about consciousness. Just like we invoked the consciousness of the nature spirits of the room and the land beneath as part of the sacred space creation at the beginning of this meditation, everything has a consciousness in it. Viruses, fungi, bacteria, everything has a consciousness within it. Illnesses, everything. How often have you heard people talk about, consulting the intelligence of your liver or the intelligence of your body overall? That's what they mean. The consciousness within, let's just make it easy. Let's say a yeast or a bacteria cleanse. The consciousness within the bacteria that have overgrown, as the bacteria begins to die off, you will probably pick up psychically their death throes. You'll pick up that they are dying, and you may feel like you're dying. At a physical level, they're excreting toxins into the intestines or other parts of the body. So there is legitimately a physical reaction your body's going through of having to suddenly move a whole lot more of the toxins out. So it's really having to ramp up, and you may not feel great because your body suddenly says, whoa, you need to not be running around and doing all this different stuff. You need to eat really well. You need to get 8 hours and a 2-hour nap every afternoon. Your body's just, telling you what you need to do. When we go through these processes of letting go of what no longer serves us. We get psychic or intuitive hits that what no longer serves us is dying off or being pulled away. And there's the importance of letting go of cords that people talk about. And I find that oftentimes just acknowledging this is what is happening, little light bulbs go off in your head and you get a sense of, right. And then you can start asking questions. So when you start to feel poorly, or you start to feel like, wow, that's just not right to me, you can ask it, wait, is that really in tune with me? And this is a trick to deal with outer world events that you feel are wrong or inappropriate or somehow you're bothered by. If you just take a second and just imagine something external to yourself or someone, or something internal, an imbalance in the physical. The first thing to do and the most important is to simply stop and ask, is it really you? Is it really all yours right now? Perhaps there's a percentage that's yours, perhaps not. Perhaps it's not yours at all, even though it's been there for years and years and years. Perhaps it served you up until this point in time, and now you're ready to let go of it. Even new beliefs, habits, and patterns that we started in this last year or even within the last few months may not serve you anymore. The way we were creating reality, as well as the path and the goals of that reality, have changed. New options are available, and for most of us, our souls have decided that we want those new options. We don't want to stay with the old options. And this is part of jumping the dimensions. So if we were here moving along, and all of a sudden there's these options up here, and our soul goes, oh, let's see how we can get there. So the reality is we move in a spiral, and wait, how are we going to get there? And so we stopped, and we're taking this stop point wherever we just stopped at. And instead of continuing the spiral that we were making, that stop point becomes the new center of a spiral. And so now we're moving in this new spiral fashion to hit the new goals that our soul wants us to experience. So what worked in the past isn't going to work now, because our soul doesn't want to be on that same spiral path. The goals that we had for ourselves, we have different goals now. The soul wants to experience something different. So all the guides and angels that were helping us achieve those old tasks can now release. They make way for the new guides and angels that are present and available to us now. So just gently allow yourself to breathe into your low back and just let yourself find again that room around you, that safe place around you. becoming aware of that which is no longer in tune with us is the first step. Let yourself feel the static, the heavy, even the mind chatter right now. And just let it be. Don't try to change it. Don't try to do anything with it. Just let it be for you. And now we begin to ask, whatever you're noticing, is it truly in tune with that portion of your soul that is incarnating right now, that is making the choices right now? And just allowing that which is ready to depart, that which recognizes it's not in tune with you anymore, to move through Archangel Michael to go home. Just feeling into that space. We are so full of things in our heads here in Western culture. Feeling into the head, feeling into the space behind the head. That soft space right between the occipital protrusions. That occipital bone sticks out on the left and the right, and right in the middle is a nice soft spot where the head and neck meet and back. Guides and angels tend to accumulate there, and they tend to accumulate also behind the neck. Those guides and angels that have served you so well, we have appreciation for. Even those that may no longer serve you at one point in time, they must have been of use in some way, shape, or form to you. We thank them all for being present, and just allow that portion of your soul that's incarnating right here, right now, to interact more and more strongly with this area of your body, just tuning this area of your body in such a way that you are able to begin to generate the quality of energy that your body and soul want for you to have right now. Very gently, just welcoming that portion of your soul legally incarnating to step through this area of your body. In this area of your body, so much of it depends on the pituitary gland that lies not just behind the bridge of your nose, but back a few inches. So that pituitary gland also functions frequently as the third eye, or that's what we call it. Just feeling that pituitary gland, or bringing awareness into that space of your head. And just letting that portion, again, that aspect of your soul that's incarnating right here, right now, in this moment, letting that aspect of your soul legally incarnating step through your pituitary gland. And just releasing out of pituitary and releasing out of the back side of sixth chakra, that soft space in your head. Releasing out of the front side of sixth chakra, bridge of the nose, forehead. Releasing all that's ready to be released. Letting that aspect of your soul legally incarnating step through the pituitary gland to reconfigure, reorganize, retune that pituitary gland to reflect this very moment in time, to reflect who you are now and how you are right now. And sometimes this will impact into the temples and into the top of the head. Guides and angels that sit along the temples can be particularly problematic when they get out of tune. Anybody who's enjoyed a headache or a migraine knows this pretty well. So just taking a moment and just feeling that space along the temples. And a trick to start is to actually relax your jaw, and as you breathe in, let your tongue come forward just the tiniest bit. Let your jaw go slack just the tiniest bit. This helps to release some additional muscles right on the lower end of the temple. And very gently just looking at the temple energies. And again, the pituitary gland, and just allowing all of your own intuition to tune more and more in accordance with your body, your soul right now in this moment. Releasing old ideas, old psychic ideas that came to you through pictures or energies or cords that other people gave you. Again, perhaps they served for a while, but you probably don't need them anymore. What would that look like? What would that feel like to just let your body be completely supported by your own soul legally incarnating right now, especially around temples? Gently releasing all that's ready to be released and allowing your own body, your own soul together to generate and create the energies that are appropriate right now. What's the quality of energy that your body, your soul together want to generate through pituitary gland, and how does that spread out through the forehead, the bridge of the nose, the temples, the back side of the head, that soft place? And a very related gland, just looking at pineal or pineal. And that's just center of head, pretty much just above the spine. From here, the crown chakra is generated. Feeling into this space. And sometimes it's so full of chatter because there's so many guides and angels that you consciously asked for help, be they parking guides, or how do I say this to someone, or what on earth is my client really going through? They're not telling me the truth. Or similar things like, well, now, where's that whole grain bread again in this particular store? We accidentally draw in so many guides and angels, although usually what comes in through the crown are the bigger picture guides and angels. So there can be guides that helped us for years and years navigate the trauma of junior high, for example, or guides and angels that helped us to deal with that first boyfriend, or with a difficult passage through a work situation. The guides and angels that sit with each of us right now in the crown chakra are a reflection, ideally, of the journey that our soul wants for our body to have right now. Ideally, they're a reflection of who each of us truly is. And those guides and angels are here to help who we truly are come through our body. These guides and angels are so in tune with us that we don't realize they're there most of the time. There's no sensation, no static, no heavy. These guides and angels are who we are so profoundly that their presence simply feels clear, still. And it's so unremarkable because so many of us somehow assume that a guide and angel should whack us over the head with some sort of great hammer of light. But guides and angels that are truly in tune with us are so in tune that we don't even notice that they're present. They are a unique and ever-present part of us, just like our fingers are. Those guides and angels that we may have accumulated in the crown chakra from past jobs, past relationships, those guides and angels have absolute permission to go through Archangel Michael so that they can go home, so that they can continue on their own evolutionary path. Whatever that might be, we appreciate their presence. We appreciate them walking this path with us. But just as we are changing paths, we're changing guides and angels. Some of them may just update or upgrade or shift. Some will release completely, making room for new guides and angels. And again, this may be more of a tactile or kinesthetic sensation. This may not be something where you get full information because you may not need it. That which is not in tune with you may not need to have any more space taken up in your brain with it. It's okay to simply release what's not in tune, trusting the intelligence of your body, trusting the intelligence of the guides and angels. After all, if we truly believe that guides and angels assist us, can we not trust that when their work is done, that we can thank them and that they will move on out? And then if we thank them and their work isn't done, that they'll say, not quite yet. Or they'll shift and change just a little bit to accommodate the next step that we're moving into. Just bring awareness to that pineal gland, just sort of straight inside the head. If you look at the top of your ear and you go straight inside, that's about where the pineal gland is. The top of the spine is typically considered to be right about here, where your ear is, and the pineal is right above that. So that's probably deeper inside your head than what you think it is. And just allowing that area of the pineal gland within you to be supported by your own soul legally incarnating right now. That portion of your soul that is in your body, that portion that your body wants to be supported by right now. Just letting that portion of your soul legally incarnating step through this pineal gland. And from there, just letting the pineal gland tune in whatever way that your soul and your body together want it to tune now. And just releasing out of the crown chakra, out of the top of the head, all that is ready to be released. Those guides, those angels, again, that have served, we thank and release them so that they might continue to learn and grow and be about their own evolutionary process. Ideas and beliefs that were helpful, that may be bound to them in some fashion, we also thank and release now. And we release whatever energy cords or connections that might belong to people in our lives. Oftentimes, guides and angels were helping us relate to people. So those people that were connected in were also releasing any cords or guides and angels with cords connected to those people. I realize that's a little confusing. Just know that your relationship to anyone involved with these guides and angels will also shift, or have the potential to shift. Walking a new path involves intuitively asking, is this the next step? Is this the next step? Rather than habitually doing or thinking, now I do this, now I do that. And one way that we often, especially in Western culture, mess up or make change more difficult is by forcing change through third chakra. Third chakra, I mean pretty much the chakras at the diaphragm, which is solar plexus, just underneath the heart, and what I call the lower third chakra, which is just above navel, and then the navel chakra itself. That whole area can be used to manipulate or try to manipulate outcomes. Some people are more successful than others in doing this, but think of it in this way. If you have a balloon, say the wall of a balloon here, and here's the reality you're living in, and your soul wants you to go this way. For some reason, you're on the spiral, and now it's time to go this way and step outside of the reality. So if that's what's going on, some people will use that third chakra to try to drive something through and try to push through that wall. But what they're really doing is just pushing the wall and making it collapse in a certain way in on themselves. Their reality will eventually collapse, and it simply will not exist. We can see that sometimes, especially with rich, famous people, because typically if you've got a really dynamic third chakra, you can do a lot of stuff. You can get a lot of people to follow you. And you can convince a lot of people of things. And it's a combo of third chakra and being able to cloud people's psychic abilities by sending them fake pictures. I talked about this as gaslighting in a couple of my newsletters that you can find at my website. But oftentimes this makes the shift between realities more difficult. Because folks that are pushing, trying to make the old reality work, are also making it collapse down. Now, it's good in some ways, bad in others. It simply is. But as this reality collapses down, then their false narrative and the energy pictures that we've all been watching are also beginning to just lose their power. They're almost turning into dust. I'm just going to take a quick aside to talk about energy pictures. So when I'm talking to you right now, especially because I'm motioning with my hands on Facebook, but I'm aware that I've got people that are just sitting with their eyes closed, so they're not seeing what I'm doing. I'm very intentionally thinking about a spiral. I'm thinking about a picture of what my words are describing. And with a little luck, I'm offering it in such a way that as it approaches into your sixth chakra, your own energies go, do I want to look at that? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's an offering. People with gargantuan third chakras or something equivalent going on in their body oftentimes drill that picture in. There's no question whether or not you're going to see it. whams right at you, and it's so big, it completely covers your ability to utilize your own psychic view here. And oftentimes we end up trying to look around it, or look under it, or look over it. And that's when we get a sense of everyone is giving you this, or you think everyone's giving you this single picture. But then in meditation, you start going, wait a minute, there's something else happening. Releasing all of these pictures that have been sent to us when we read something or watch television or talk to people. Anything that has been really sent with a large third chakra or with this strength of linear pushing, that tends to get in, and that can also cause headaches, disruptions, and just a blockage in intuition. One way to understand this and release it is to actually go down low in the body, going down to the navel chakra, going down underneath that into the intestines, into the ovaries, testicles, first chakra. When we go down, we really establish who we are. When you know who you are, then when someone tries to do that, you can feel it even more clearly, and you recognize what it is, that it's a block, that it's a fake image or a false picture. Someone wants you to believe this picture because they don't want you to know what is actually true for them. Sometimes this is done innocently. A lot of times it is done as a form of manipulation, be it a social manipulation or something more. Understanding and feeling yeses and nos that your low body gives you allows you to sense when someone's really telling you the truth and when someone is just trying to paint a pretty picture for you and says, here, look at this pretty picture because I don't really want to tell you anything more. And we've all had that in very small ways when we come across someone someplace that we know. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing great. There's a fake pretty picture. They're not doing great. You know it. And you know it because your low body says, So the telepathic information that we get, or the intuitive information that we get from the body, is incredibly clear once the lower chakras are cleared. The telepathic information we get from pituitary gland can be very useful and clear, but it's easily misinterpreted. So going down into the low body is a lovely way to feel and to sense what really fits for you now. So let's just do that. The new reality that we're moving into means that we have to adjust our grounding. There's a new vibration, a new earth, a new vibration. And I'll be honest, we'll probably do this again in 6 weeks. We're not done. We're going to keep shifting and shifting and shifting. And while I'm ready to land someplace, my guides keep saying 2024, 2025. I know Thoth has told me that the shifting consciousness will really anchor someplace around 2035. So all those things that we were thinking of that we were done back in 2012, the harmonic convergence and such. No. It kicked it off. It unlocked the door. We're still in the process of fully opening the door and seeing what's on the other side. I'm not sure we've even taken a step yet to move through the door. I think we're still standing, looking, opening the door and going, what is that? So for right now, your low body can help you to just feel comfortable wherever you are within these shifting realities. Just breathe for a second, just a normal sized breath into your low back. That's a good way to just recognize where your body is in space for a moment. And just feel what's going on now. Just take a before picture. And as we bring awareness down into the low bodies, letting the guides, the angels that support you and work with you, letting them be present along with your soul legally incarnating. And just feeling into that low back space, feeling into that space behind the curve of your back. Guides and angels that are very pushy tend to land here. Guides and angels from other people who want you to do something in particular tend to land here. Other people's guides and angels, we appreciate them, but they can return to whomever they belong to. Even better, they can go to the guardian angel of the person that they belong to. And that navel chakra, your navel chakra, can go all the way through your body. The very core of that navel chakra, deep inside your body at your spine. Deep inside the body, not in the front, not in the back. The depth, the center of that navel chakra can be more and more supported by your own soul legally incarnating. And your soul legally incarnating, stepping through this area, and just begins to retune the very core of your navel chakra. Who are you now? Who are you now? How does that portion of your soul that's legally incarnating into your body, that your body wants to be in relationship with, and that portion of your soul that wants to be in relationship with your body right now, how does that aspect or portion of your soul step through and support the very center of your navel now? And as the core of your navel chakra reflects who you are now, that very core of your navel chakra tunes to who you are now. It generates that quality of energy that your body and your soul together want to generate now. Your whole body creates energies. And these energies ideally are a reflection of how your body and soul embrace each other. And just letting the space behind your low back reflect this new quality of energy. How does the backside of your navel chakra, how does the backside of your navel chakra want to organize now to reflect your body, your soul right now? Releasing those guides, those angels, releasing those energies that no longer reflect you. They can go through Archangel Michael. They can go back to the guardian angel if they belong to someone else. And very gently just bringing your awareness down into second chakra-ish. There's so much that goes on while we talk about major chakras. There's energy dynamics throughout the intestines, throughout the colon, throughout this low body area. Just let your awareness sink to wherever it wants to go to now. I'll refer to it as second chakra. It's wherever it wants to sink to now. That quality of ease and comfort that our soul truly wants for our body to have can be generated here. How often we make things much more difficult for ourselves than what they need to be. Our soul has a quality of support, a quality of calm, a quality of enjoyment, a quality of fun even. And our soul wants these qualities of ease and comfort and fun for our body in this lifetime. yes, sometimes there's things we need to be dealing with, and sometimes we do that by having a bit of a spiritual stick. But for the most part, our soul wants us to choose the carrot, wants us to move easily through life. We're not meant to squeeze sideways through a hallway that's too tight. We're really meant to expand, to express who we are, so that those energies that our soul generates with our body can expand out into our world, our own unique vibration, our own unique peace is meant for us and meant to be audible to others. So that sense of just letting your light shine and letting your soul legally incarnating step through your second chakra is one of ease and comfort. And we're just going to release those patterns, beliefs, habits that relate to whatever you're ready to let go of. Believing that work has hard, or that finances are difficult or painful, or that life is against you, or the external world is uncomfortable. All these experiences relate to energetic beliefs and patterns that can be released, and then there just isn't the same response. Things may not be in tune with you, but they're simply not in tune. They don't interact with you in the same way once these patterns are released. So let's just release a little bit more of these patterns, and just looking pretty much from navel on down to pubic bone, and just letting all those energies your body is ready to let go of. All those energies your soul legally incarnating is ready to release. Letting those energies that recognize they're not in tune with you now go to where they need to go to. Letting them move on so they can keep learning and growing and serving in some way. There's nothing wrong with them. You simply outgrew them, just like you've outgrown clothes that you wore when you were 5 years old. Let them go. Let the energies keep learning and growing. And this creates more space so that your soul can come through the very fabric of your body, can come through the soft tissue. Your soul legally incarnating, that quality of energy can step in through your low body. And then your body vibrates, generating the quality of energy that your body and soul together want for you to experience right now in life. And letting that move all the way through, including back behind your spine and slightly outside of your body. All the way down to your tailbone. This entire area reflects who you are now and draws to you those guides and angels that reflect who you are now. Again, just releasing what's ready to be released. And looking at the front side, again between navel and pubic bone, and just gently releasing whatever is ready to be released here as well. Letting this whole area of your body be supported by your own soul, that portion of your soul incarnating right now legally, what your body wants to be supported by, and that aspect of your soul that wants to be in your body now. Letting that step through your low body, your low torso, and tuning the front side of this area and the back side again to reflect who you are right now, the new path, the new goals that your soul wants for your body to experience now, and how your soul and body together want you to see this new path and to intuit this new path. What's the quality of energy that your soul and your body want you to follow now? Just like Dorothy followed the yellow brick road. What's the quality of energy that your soul says and your body feels is yours now? What tells you that you are on the correct path now? How does that feel in your low body? And again, just releasing any energies that belong to the past, back to the past, back to the time frame of the past that they truly belong to. Letting this portion of your body from navel down to pubic bone and navel down to tailbone. Letting this area of your body reflect this moment in current time. Reflect the path, the goal, the quality of consciousness that your soul and body together want you to follow. Your new path, your new goals. And finally, just grounding this in more and more. Stepping a little closer to that new reality. Just letting the ovaries, the testicles, also be supported by the soul legally incarnating right now in your body. What is that quality of energy that your soul legally incarnating wants to generate, wants to create as it comes through your testicles, your ovaries? How does your physical body want to be supported by your own soul legally incarnating right now at ovaries, at testicles? How does that translate into first chakra, into grounding? What's that quality of energy that's unique to you right now, that's new and fresh, smooth, stable, steady? And just letting that move all the way through grounding, whatever that means to you, down through your legs, all the way down to the ankles and the feet. And just letting the bottom of the feet, those multitude of chakras on the bottom of the feet. Again, just release what's no longer in tune with you. Letting those bottom of the feet chakras open. And just letting the bottom of the feet chakras soak up all the spiritual energies that are in tune with your body and soul right now. How does your body want to nourish itself right now? And as that happens, just continuing to release out of the feet chakras any energies that are no longer in tune with your body, any energies that your body says, nope, don't need that anymore. Any energies, especially nature spirits that you may have picked up from floors or carpets or outdoor spaces. Letting those nature spirits return to keep the grass green, the stones beautiful, the carpeting or the floors intact, and letting those feet chakras move beyond simply grounding into nature spirits, letting those feet chakras move in such a way that they go into a new relationship to the spiritual energies of the second and first dimension. Deep patterns of energies that support and provide the energetic undertones and structure for our third dimensional world. Letting the chakras on the bottom of your feet connect directly into those patterns, those qualities. In this way, as the third dimension shifts, there's a sense of constant stability. Just like a boat can rock at sea. If your knees are flexible, if you have good balance in your core, it just becomes second nature to adjust for the shifts. Same here, the bottom of your feet chakras can just open and feel that calm, steady flow of energy that's available to you. And this allows your feet and your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips to also feel that stability, that steadiness, that flow of connection. And just looking at knee chakras in general for a second. Letting the back side of the knee chakras release the excess work, beliefs that no longer serve you, that get in the way of your body really being supported by your soul to experience that sense of ease and comfort that your body wants to experience because your soul wants your body to experience that. We just get in the way, and we get in the way in our throats, in our second chakras, and in our knees. So just releasing out of knees whatever's ready to be released. This should increase that sense of ease, connection, and support between your body and the external world. And just sit with this for a moment. Your feet chakras just connecting into all that nourishing and nurturing energy that your soul, your body wants to connect to and wants to be nourished by now. Through the feet chakras, and then that just moves through the entire body, bit by bit. And again, just releasing those energies, guides and angels that recognize, because they each have their own consciousness, they recognize you've changed and their work is complete. Letting them gently release out of the space. And they can move through Archangel Michael, so that each of them can continue on their own evolutionary journey. And I invite each of you listening and present to simply make a commitment that as we end this particular meditation, that you will follow up by noticing when your body feels particularly tense or odd. And you will ask if that tension or that oddness is truly yours. And likewise, those of you with spiritual practices, that you come to that practice with a fresh eye, and with a question mark, wondering, what serves today and how can I be of that service? And those of you that are familiar with the Merkaba meditation, that's an excellent thing to do after we close. To simply bring your consciousness and your awareness into that space around you in a different fashion. Upgrade and update yourself. So, as we close this meditation, I just want to point out that this aspect of Archangel Michael has been seen by all the energies around you. Those energies that you were ready to let go of have left. Those energies that for some reason are not quite to the point where you're ready to let go of them, that's okay. They've seen Michael. They will travel through Archangel Michael when the time is right. For now, we're going to release our conscious magnified connection to Archangel Michael. Some aspect of Michael sits with each of you, whether you know it as Archangel Michael or another name, it doesn't matter. Some aspect of Archangel Michael sits with you at all times. We're simply letting the magnified connection release. And that aspect of Archangel Michael that will continue to sit with you will integrate into the new you. Guides and angels, other energies that might need to go home. They've seen Michael. They know how to go home through Michael now. So thanking and releasing the conscious magnified connection to Archangel Michael from the upper dimensions. And releasing the conscious magnified connections to Archangel Michael from the lower dimensions. Letting Michael step back into relationship with you in whatever way is appropriate. And just honoring that solidified connection that is new for you now. Bring your awareness to the room for a second, and we're just going to start with the nature spirits of the room. Those that reflect your energy and that vibrate at their level of unconditional love that have been holding the sphere around the room. We're going to ask them to do something. We're going to ask them to cleanse and clear themselves from any energies relating to the meditation. We're going to ask them as well to cleanse and clear the room, the sphere, from any energies relating to this meditation that they can help to cleanse and clear. And with a sense of gratitude, we thank and release them from holding the sphere and let them step back into relationship to the room in whatever way is appropriate now. Nature spirits of the land beneath. Again, those vibrating at their level of unconditional love that have reflected your energies and holding the sphere, just letting them gently cleanse and clear anything they can cleanse and clear from this meditation within themselves or the land beneath or the lower portion of the sphere. Gently allowing them to step back to wherever they need to be now in relationship to the room. We release our conscious magnified connection to them and release them from holding the sphere. And finally, that pure energy of nature. That wonderful quality of healing, just very gently letting it cleanse and clear whatever it can cleanse and clear from the meditation. And it tends to work on a very multidimensional level. And thanking and releasing that pure energy of nature from our conscious magnified connection to it. Recognizing we're always connected to some extent to the pure energy of nature. It is the animating force of our bodies. Just as it animates plants and the earth herself. We're always connected We're just releasing the magnified connection right now. And finally, just thanking and releasing any additional guides or angels or energies that helped with this particular meditation. Just honoring that as we moved into sacred space, now we're moving out of sacred space. And give yourself a few minutes to simply integrate whatever might need to be integrated. To rest. And take an after picture. Feel the room again. Notice the difference. When things are clear, there's oftentimes a sense of almost emptiness. We're so used to having so much clutter energetically that when it's just us and the guides and angels in tune with us, we feel naked. And we sometimes rush to fill that space up. So just like in spring, it can feel so weird to go outside without the scarf and the hats and the mittens and the winter coat. And all of a sudden we're walking outside in a t-shirt and it feels like, whoa, this is like too exposed. Same thing. We become habituated to being covered in clouds of energies that aren't us. So feel that minty freshness around you. Feel that spaciousness. You've got room to move now. You've got room to create now. You have room to now listen and to hear. What are the new goals? Where is that new path? Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. More than 60 meditations are now available as free podcasts and can be found on your streaming service as well as at my website, healingchants.com. If you would like to make a contribution, please use office@healingchants.com or consider purchasing my music or subscribing to one of my online courses or having a private session. Thank you. Namaste.